Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm taking a look at the Queen Gorgo 6-scale figure from Star Ace Toys. Let's see how she turned out. Alright, first up as always is the packaging, and it looks pretty darn good. There's an excellent lenticular photograph of Lena Headey on the front, as well as a motif of the Spartans driving the Persians off a cliff. The back, as we've come to expect, features the full credits for the design and development team, as well as various legal stuff. And on the top, there's also another version, a cropped version of that same photograph of Lena Headey. I'm not sure why they only had to use that one, or they only had that one to use. But really, who cares about the packaging? Let's take a look at what's on the inside. Gorgo's dress is made up of a decent faux linen. It looks pretty good while it's still in the box. I can't wait to see what it looks like when I get it out. There's a nice array of accessories: her armband, a sword, a Spartan shield, the necklace that she wears. I think I'll definitely be showing you guys how to get those things on her later. Those looking for an mind-blowing likeness of Lena Headey will be disappointed. She's there. She's in there. You kind of have to look for her to find her. But I don't think that the departure from her likeness is so egregious as to be a deal breaker. Anyway, let's get on with seeing what this figure is capable of. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is get that necklace on her, and to do that, you're going to want to remove that head. It came off fairly easily with me. It wasn't snug at all. It was the easiest head removal job that I've ever had to do in my 6-scale career, I believe, apart from some of Sideshow's clones. While I'm on the subject of the head, I should probably point out that you're going to want to work with that hair a little bit to make it screen accurate. I rewatched the film last night, and Lena Headey's hair was not quite so fluffy as it is here in this figure. There are various waxes and such that you can use to tame that down, though. It's just a simple matter of taking the time to do it. The bonus is that you get to style it however you like, so there's a little bit of customization involved if you want to look at it from that perspective. I'd like to make a note about the seamless figure body. It actually reads really well, the skin tones on it. Just look how it plays with that light. That's just a single, primary light source is a single overhead. I think if you try doing it any other way, you run the risk of either breaking the leather strap or breaking off the figure, and then slide the strap over the arm and then reapply the hand, as you see I'm doing here in the inset. Handle on the shield itself, and no one wants that. Getting back to the dress, Star Ace made an interesting decision to create a fold at a specific point in that trailing part of the dress, the train of the dress, and created some snaps, put some snaps in there to hold it in place. I'm not quite sure what the reason was behind that, apart from to help you create a screen-accurate representation of her holding the train in her hand, as you see I'm doing here. Another thing to point out is look how great the plastic elements of that head sculpt merge with the rooted hair. That's a pretty great design decision on their part. I want to say that that's unique to this figure. I've never seen in any of my figures in my collection anything that approaches that or even attempts to accomplish something like that. Another note on the train is that the snap, of course, can be undone and you can leave the train trailing out behind her. You'll see examples of that later in the photography section of this review. Overall, I'm very happy with how this figure turns out. I love how it looks, just sitting right there. There's a very regal quality to it that I think you can attribute equally to the design team who designed the character for the film and Star Ace's team for translating it into the 6-scale form so well. The character of Gorgo in the films is important in that she did not play nearly as prominent a role in the graphic novel as she did in the film. They really amped that up, which is great because Gorgo herself as a historical character is pretty important in so much as I think that she's one of the only female historical figure that Herodotus actually mentions by name. A couple more interesting facts about Gorgo that most people may not know. Leonidas was actually her uncle, and she married him when she was in her early teens. That line that she gives in the movie where she says that Spartan women are the ones who give birth to Spartan men, that's a real thing. She actually said that. Although I think it's less of a quote than more of a paraphrase. So I'll be keeping that in mind while this figure is sitting on my shelf. It's representative to me more of the historical figure of Gorgo than the character from the film. If you're a fan of 300 and of Gorgo, I highly recommend you check out her actual history. She's fascinating. Hope you all enjoyed the review. I hope you'll tune in for the next one. Until then, be good to your plastic.